All right, this is the second part of the rendering tutorial. You can tell by my voice the caffeine is kicking in and waking up. So we rendered 1 through 40. One of the things I should have told you is if you're on a laptop like mine, uh, maybe get some chopsticks and put them underneath. Make sure there's good ventilation around your computer because these rendering passes will run your system hot, especially if you have Alienware. It'll look like it's taking off. And I would only render like maybe 3 or 4 hours at a time. Don't run it for 24/7 or something like that. I did that once for 10 days straight, and then I melted a logic board. Um, so just be careful. Make sure you're aware if you have a tower. I would do it on a tower because it's probably better ventilation, and also probably a lot of them have liquid coolant inside of them now. All right, so you'll know it's stopped because your fan will stop running. And number 2 on the bottom, it says sequence rendering completed. All right, so now we should have a stack of a whole bunch of images, and we're going to go ahead and go into After Effects. All right, so I just opened it up. I have not opened up a new composition and did 1080 settings or anything. I'm just going to let the sequence kind of start that behavior, or that starting as a starting point. So we're going to go File and Import File. All right, and we're going to go and try to find my lovely cartoon and render. All right, so this is good. So we have 40, it's showing up backwards. So we want to go all the way to the bottom. Cartoon boy underscore 1 boy, and you can see the sequence starting. So we're going to hit number 1, and we're going to go ahead and force alphabetical. Let's see what happens. All right, so sometimes you do alphabetical. I'm just going to go ahead and do this. All right, so I'm going to dump it down here. All right, make sure your time slider is right at 0 too, so if it's over here, it won't behave correctly. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and hit spacebar. All right, let's see, it's a little hot, a little bit hotter than I thought it was going to be than our render passes. So again, test them out. You may want to open up your different renders just to see them. Also, you can see at the very end, you can see this is clipping off, and also it's a pretty harsh shadow here. So a lot of things showing up now. Also, you can go a little bit larger on your screen size here. You could go in here, and this is a compositing software, so you can go into effects and work on different brightness and contrast and so forth like that. And here I'm trying to do it on the fly here. I haven't worked with brightness and contrast. I don't know where it's at. So stylize. You guys are yelling at me through the YouTube channel. All right. So anyways, you can go in here and work on that. So definitely work on different effects to get that to pop out. I'm not able to find it really quickly. Seems like that would jump out at you when you. All right, you can look it up. Anyways, I would dial it down because it seems quite bright. All right, so what we want to do is that image sequence is all here. You would bring in your audio. I don't have any audio. I didn't animate to it. You would bring your audio wave file down here. All right, and it's really important that you sequence this out. Now you can export it out, bring it into Premiere or iMovie or whatever, and you can sync in your audio there if you would rather do it there. This is just compositing, really. It's not really for editing and putting audio. So either way, it's probably easier because a lot of you did Premiere to kind of edit this. All right, so we're going to go to Render Queue. All right, so we're going to go select that, and we want to render this out. So we're going to go and should this hit render queue? composition, and we're going to hit add to render cube. All right, so you will have over here on the left is your composition, and then you have over here your render cube. All right, so we're going to do output. I'm going to go ahead and click on that, and we have an H.264. And I guess the big thing is just make sure everything is similar to what you rendered out. All right, so the big thing is the format, to stereo 44 hertz, and the big thing is we want this to run at 29.97. So we have video, we have our hardware encoder, and I'm looking to make sure our frame rate is correct. So go ahead and hit OK for this one, and then we'll go to output, and you're going to just call it Cartoon Boy. That's good, and it's going to go into our render thing. You may want to make a subfolder for that, but it's okay. We'll hit save. All right, I'm going to go to best settings. I did not like that I can't find my frame rate. All right, the frame rate is 30. All right, so I would go in there and change my frame rate to the 29.97, 29.97. All right, for some reason that does not feel right. Seems like it should be in here. Let's go in here, H.264 is fine. And should have our format, and it should have our 29.97 bit rate. All right, well, you saw that I did the settings over there, and it should be ready to go. All right, video, format options, video. All right, hit OK. All right, so we have a destination where it's going to go. Wasn't too happy where that frame rate, again, you want it 29.97. You may have to look that up really quickly, and you just hit render. All right, it's pretty quick because it's already just a whole bunch of images stuck together. So that is it. So you should be able to open up and have MP4 or a movie file playing of this. Again, I would have taken my time and did a brightness and contrast and get kind of the spotty brightness off of here. All right, that is it. So just make sure you bring in your final movie into Premiere and put your video underneath and try to sequence it up. You may have to play around with this a couple times to get that frame rate correct. Just make sure it matches whatever you had in Maya. So if Maya was 24 frames per second, make sure your output is 24 frames per second. That is very key when you start to sync sound together, because you'll see it will lag or be behind, and you don't want that. That is a sign of a bad animation. All right, good luck.